welcome back to Book and Prejudice. My name is Mar, and for today's video I was going to do a vlog, but I realized just how dull my life was and how little reading was taking place this week, because it's been a bit of chaos as per usual. My weeks are always chaos. I don't know why that surprises anyone at this point. But I decided to talk instead about physical books versus Kindles versus audiobooks. And I say Kindle just because that's what I have. I genuinely mean e-readers, but I've only ever had Kindles and I can only speak on the Kindle's behalf. So the way this book is going to be structured is my introduction to each of the formats, which one I prefer and why, and which one I am excited to try more of and why. Before I get going though, I do want to say that I understand that a lot of people have very strong opinions about whether physical books are better, whether ebooks are better, or whether audiobooks should even be considered books. Now, what I'm going to be saying today is just my personal opinion, and you don't have to agree. That's the beauty of, you know, a liberal society. You don't have to agree with me. Just let me know in the comments what you think though, because I do care for your opinions and maybe you will change my mind. We'll see. Firstly, I will speak about my experience with each format of books. Well, obviously physical books have been in my life forever since I started reading, because back when I was a child, e-readers were a thing of the future, literally. Nobody thought about them. But I've been always very attached to physical books, especially certain physical copies, like my Harry Potter copies in Spanish, my ink hard copies. All of those books are, it's not just the physical part of it, but the actual book itself holds a lot of good memories for me. And I think that physical books have been very important for me because you can really hold attachment, and also because libraries look super pretty. Not this one though, we need to change this, and my boyfriend doesn't want to change it and I want to change it, but we'll get on that another day. But I really like physical books because I think that it's very nice to hold them. Obviously everyone talks about the smell, and the smell is great, but I really like the weight of the book. I really like holding a book. I really like the cover art and the back art and the reviews in the front and in the back, and all of that is things that you just don't really get on an ebook, and definitely not on a audiobook. So I had my introduction to physical books when I was literally like 6 months old, and I got gifted this one over here, and ever since then I've been reading them. When it comes to ebooks, when I turned 18 and I moved to London for the first time to start university, my parents gifted me a Kindle Paperwhite because they knew that I really wanted to continue reading, and I really would not be able to carry books to and from London and Spain because of, obviously, university accommodation is very small and it doesn't really have much space, and the space you have to really utilize it well. So definitely couldn't have a big bookshelf or a big reading nook or anything like that, which was a bit of a shame, and I was a bit unhappy, not with the gift obviously, with the fact that I couldn't have physical books with me, but I got gifted the Paperwhite. And for those who don't know, I have the Oasis here because my Paperwhite broke, but my Kindle Paperwhite was a bit thinner and a bit longer, so not long, but like a bit longer for sure. It also came in the red case because that's my favorite color. But it was really a bit life-changing. As I said in the previous video, during my university years, there was a while there where I didn't read. And part of the reason why I got back into reading was because of my Paperwhite Kindle, because it really allowed me to carry a book with me onto lectures, and it didn't take much space because sometimes I need to carry textbooks and readings and folders, and a physical book just wasn't an option. But a Kindle was, so I really got into Kindles for that reason. And then lastly, this year, literally like in December or November, I really got into audiobooks, which is very crazy for me because I don't think I am an audiobook person. I still don't see myself as one, but I have to admit they are very convenient and I really enjoy them. Now, the thing about the audiobooks is that I still haven't found my format, which please, if you have a good format, let me know. But I really like them because it really allows me the ability to work and consume literature. I'm gonna say consume literature because I know that when people say reading in regards to audiobooks, there's a bit of a fight. So consuming literature, it's a lot better for me. It allows me to focus on a book. I usually choose books that I perhaps don't really need to be that present for, but I still want to read. And it's a really good way of just, instead of listening to music or going on YouTube or putting on a show, just put on a book. It also is great for cleaning the house, doing chores when you're cooking, or when you're just kind of chilling around the house and don't really know what to do. So those are the 3 formats that I have and how I got introduced to each of them. Now I'm going to talk a bit about, you know, my favorite format and why it's my favorite and why I think what I think about it. So obviously, as I said before, my favorite way of reading is through physical books. However, one cannot lie and say that physical books don't have a huge environmental cost and pocket cost, really, because they're expensive, especially here in London. So a lot of the times that what I found is that I will buy books physically and I'll be very happy about it and I'll be very pleased with the cover and everything, but a little voice in my head is nagging me about the environmental price of this. And I know that I could buy secondhand books, and that's something that I'm looking forward to doing throughout the 2021. But that's still paper, you know, that's still an environmental cost. And I think that very obviously and very reluctantly as well, the world is shifting towards a paperless society, and that paperless society will definitely include books. So I'm trying to become more aware that this is my reality and not ignore it and embrace it rather than oppose to it, because a lot of people are going to oppose to it, and sustainability is something that I personally take very seriously, and so does my partner and the people close to me in my life. So I really don't want to essentially be a hypocrite and be like, oh, recycle, don't buy food in plastic containers, don't, you know, take a car everywhere, try and take public transportation, and then be like, but also I have 20,000 books. On the other half, however, I cannot deny that having one of those huge bell-like libraries would be my absolute dream. So throughout 2021, my goal is to decide which one I prioritize more, and obviously the environment is extremely important, and we need sustainability to be at the core of the majority of the decisions we take, because otherwise we're going to be so extremely screwed in the future, the very near future as well, as in like next year future. So we really need to take that into consideration, but I need to find what I like to think of as a perfect balance between buying books and buying them on my Kindle. So I think that I'm manifesting right now, as my family would say. I think that the bestest way, that was not English, the best way to go forward would be to be very careful about the books that I buy. So just buy books in physical form that I truly, honestly think that I'm going to love. And the way I'm planning on doing this is very easy, super simple. Firstly, read synopsises and actually like put an effort to it, because a lot of times I'll just be like, oh, book for me, and then I'll just get it, which is great because I know I'm gonna like it, I know myself, but also maybe a bit more thought into what I buy would be great. And secondly, try secondhand bookshops and try to loan books from libraries. There's a very nice library like down the road, 10-minute walk from my house, that I really want to go. Obviously now we're in lockdown, it's closed, that's fine. We're not going to be in lockdown forever, hopefully. So we can actually start going there soon, I'm hoping. We can start lending books that I personally wouldn't read. And also I really just want to commit to reading in my Kindle more. But yeah, honestly, like the ebook, it's obviously what we're going to all end up using, whether you want to or not. There's going to be a moment in which physical books are just not going to be possible anymore, because it's going to be between books and basic survival, and we're just going to not be able to prioritize it. But that's fine. I think that instead of trying to be grumpy about it and throwing a fit, we could just try and find other solutions so that we never get to that position. Huh? Presidents? Governments? Please, maybe consider it. Okay, and lastly, but certainly not the least, is what I've been using as of recently, which is my audiobooks. Now, I know so many people, especially my family, think that audiobooks are not reading. I'm not saying I'm reading because I'm not doing the physical act of consuming literature through my eyesight. I know that. But for the purpose of this video, and because it's very hard to change the way I speak in 20 minutes, I will be calling it reading. I'm sorry. I think that audiobooks are fantastic. I really do. I did not want to start them. I was convinced that I would not be able to concentrate, which sometimes is the case. Sometimes you just don't pay attention to what you're listening to. But there's this great thing called a rewind button that you just kind of poke until you get back to it. And I am loving it. I am loving the amount of amusement that I get from it. I'm currently listening to a hilarious one in Audible by Kid McKinnon called Heads Will Roll, which is really fun. And I just listen to them throughout my workday, and it allows me to, first of all, be entertained and consume literature in a very interesting way, and also it just allows me to maybe not be on my phone all the time, or not be on YouTube, or not be on Netflix, because you're getting that kind of, not visual, but auditive content through other ways. However, I will say that I am still struggling a bit to find the best way for me to get these audiobooks, because my video just shut down, for God's sake. Okay, so as I was saying, I haven't found the best way to get these audiobooks, because I've tried Audible, and between the credit system and the whole Amazon affiliation, I'm just like, no. I've tried Scribed, which I'm kind of getting used to, but then I kind of quit halfway through to try Audible. So I might try Scribed throughout February and March. Still have like 3 audiobooks in my Audible account, so I'm gonna be listening to those because, you know, I already have them. And I need to find the perfect way to listen to audiobooks, just because otherwise, like, I can't do it, obviously. So I really want to figure the best way to get them. However, the problem with the audiobooks, I think, besides the fact that I cannot figure out where the hell I can find them, is that in true, honest facts, they are not the same as reading. You do not have the exact same amount of concentration. You do not have the same amount of mentality. Like, your brain is not 100% on it most of the time, because as I said, I use it to work, I use it while I do chores. I'm doing other stuff. I'm not gonna sit in my chair just like for like 15 hours while I listen to the audiobook. I could, but I'm not going to. So I need to really consider what's the best options for audiobooks. I really would recommend them though, for commuting, if you like commute on a car, for working. Now that we're all working from home, we don't have that, I don't know what an office chit-chat life is like. I'm guessing there's one sometimes, maybe. Never been to one, to be honest. I graduated during a pandemic. But, you know, it's fantastic. I really think that people should really consider giving more chances to audiobooks and kind of get rid of that snobberish thought of it not being reading. Because realistically, yes, it is not reading, but it makes me happy. So, I'm sorry. C'est la vie. But yes, these are my thoughts on physical books and ebooks and audiobooks. This is quite a long video. I don't know how long it's going to end up being, but I've been recording for 20 minutes now. Anyways, I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do hope that you guys kind of see my personal point of view of where physical books are, where ebooks stand, on the future of reading, and what counts as reading. And please let me know in the comments what you think and whether you liked it or not. If you like this kind of bookish content, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to see more of it, head over to my Instagram at Book and Prejudice, where I post this more often and more consistently. And, well, not lately, but I'm going to post more consistently. Bye bye!